introduce you, recap our conversation, and then I'd like to go on the topic as to why you support Trump. And then you said you were willing to debate on whether or not Trump is bringing us into an illiberal democracy. So, anyways, as you're coming in on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. We have Open Mind over here. We've debated them a couple times. They're saying here, Open Mind is trying to argue on the existence of trans individuals and whether or not trans women are women. I provided him with my argument and my definition. He admitted that my definition was not circular and has yet to disprove my definition of a woman. So go ahead, take it away. Disprove my definition of a woman.
So as I was saying, I was asking, why can I not change my sex on demand or my gender?
Sex is biological.
Okay, let me go by what you're saying. Why can I not change my gender? Why can I not change my gender every 10 seconds?
Here, let me explain it to you. Here's the thing is what we're trying to get into.
I don't need an explanation. I just need you to tell me the short and simple. Why can I not change my gender every 10 seconds?
But I'm asking for an explanation.
I don't need her to talk for 3 minutes. I don't need her to go on a whole 3-minute tangent. We don't need a 3-minute tangent. It's not rocket science. Just land the plane.
Some definitions or explanations do require more nuance, and I'm sorry you're not able to comprehend said nuance. That's why you're so obsessed with trans people. Like, get over yourself.
You see how you still haven't gone to the topic? You see how you still can't answer me on why I can't change?
You interrupted
So why
Ellie
can
when
I
she was
not
trying to
change my gender every 10 seconds?
I'll answer you.
We're 5 minutes in and you still can't answer that question.
Okay, so stop talking and I'll answer you. Here's the thing. It's all because identity is not the same thing as making a verbal claim. Okay?
Why is that not the same?
Right, because saying I'm X now repeatedly does not prove your internal identity.
How can somebody who's trans prove their internal identity?
Because they would fit in alliance with the set of norms.
Okay, so if I'm fitting in alliance with a set of terms, then I'm proving my identity, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So if I put a wig on and makeup on and then I take it off every minute, then I'm fitting the norms, right?
No.
Okay, it's the desire. You're missing the first part. It's the desire to be in accordance with the.
I just told you I desire to be a woman for a minute, and then I desire to be a man for another minute after that.
So are you? Why can I not do that? Are you just saying you're gender fluid?
Why can I not do that? I'm asking you, why can I not do that? And you're trying to give me the reasoning on why I can't, and I'm telling you I can. So why can I not do that?
Are you saying you're gender fluid?
Are you gonna answer my question or keep questioning me?
I think there's an issue here because identity is not proven by one sentence, and I think that's what you're getting confusing, right?
You're confused because you're trying to make a distinguisher that there's something to distinguish where, oh yeah, this person actually is that, or this person is saying what they are saying. Right. There is no way to tell what somebody is saying or what they believe they are. You can't read people's minds, right? So this is inherently that's
why it's not up to us to determine whether or not.
Yeah, so that's why anybody. So do you understand why your whole ideology doesn't work? Give me 30 seconds. Don't interrupt me. So if I was insane, right? Or if I want to do harm on others, just like a bunch of men want to, right? What is stopping that other man from pretending they are a trans woman? Nothing is stopping them, meaning there is no regulations to this. There's no regulations to when a trans person becomes a trans woman. There's no regulations to it. You still cannot tell me what point does one person become from a man to a trans woman.
That would be
you
a
still
more
haven't
issue.
given me that.
I told you. First off, they're gonna be biologically male, right? So you can't say man to trans woman, right? It's biologically male. But what I'm saying here, I already gave you my definition of a woman. You already said it's not circular, and then
stop going back and forth. I asked you, hold on, I'm recapping. Does somebody become trans? Come on, let's go quick.
When they have a desire to be in accordance with those set of norms.
Okay, perfect.
Female sex.
Okay, so that's your standards, right?
Yes.
That's your law, right? Okay, so I have the desire to be in those accordances of a female, right? And I want to do that for every minute, and the next minute I want to.
Fluid. You're gender
fluid. And the next minute I want to.
Non-fixed gender.
And the next minute,
yes, you're gender fluid. Yes, you're gender fluid. Holy shit! I already told you this.
So
you are gender fluid.
So I can do that.
Yeah,
so I can do it.
It's something called gender fluid.
So I can do it.
When you have a, I never argued.
Which one was it? Can I do it or can I not?
When did I mention gender fluid? 10 minutes.
Can I do it or can I not? Yes or no?
If you are in accordance with the definition of gender fluid, which is going to be a non-fixed gender identity that shifts over time depending on the situation, then you fit in accordance with the identity of gender.
So I can do it, right? So I can do it, right?
Again, if you fit within the description of gender fluidity,
can you say
then
yes,
you are gender fluid.
Perfect. Thank you. I just dog walked you again. That was too.
How did you dog walk me?
That was too fucking easy.
You didn't disprove that trans women are women. Hold on. You didn't disprove. You didn't disprove that trans women are women. Just prove me wrong before you run away. Prove me wrong. Go ahead. Well, why do you think trans women? You have yet to prove me wrong.
You just argued with me for 10 minutes saying that I can't transition to what I want to be.
I never said I can't. That might have been. So listen, hold on.
What getting at here is the fact that he kept saying, if I just switch into a woman,
that you might have misinterpreted what Ellie said, but I brought up gender fluidity and I told you what that was. I told you if you are gender fluid since the beginning of the conversation when you asked whether or not you can switch your gender, I brought up gender fluidity and then you and Ellie had a conversation. She absolutely cooked you, and then you asked me again and I said yes. If you fit in accordance with the definition of gender fluidity, then you are gender fluid. So no, you didn't cook me. You couldn't disprove. Yeah, you didn't disprove. Hold on, you did not disprove my definition of a woman. Disprove my definition. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Wait, before he does that,
where can I find your definition? On which dictionary is your definition at?
You're not proving me wrong.
On which dictionary is your definition?
Prove my definition wrong.
I just did. On which dictionary can I find it?
Tell me how you prove my definition wrong.
On which dictionary can I find it?
Tell me. You said you made a claim.
What dictionary can I find it at?
Hold on, because you made a claim. You proved my definition wrong. Tell me how you proved it wrong.
Yeah, I'll show you my Oxford dictionary. That's where my definition comes from.
Not proving me wrong.
Yes, it is. That's
I already proved your definition wrong by bringing up intersex people, buddy. I already proved that wrong. There's going to be a contradiction within your definition.
If you're telling
by
me
bringing
2
up intersex
plus 2
people.
is 8, and you have no source for that, then you're incorrect. I have a source for the actual definition.
And I proved that definition wrong.
Where is your source for your definition?
I proved that definition wrong.
Where is your source for your definition?
I proved that. Can you prove my definition?
Where, buddy? Hello? Where is it? Where's your source?
Again, you have to tell me why you're proving my definition wrong.
Jeremiah's Dictionary of Idiots. Is that where I can find it?
Holy blunder. Tell me how you think.
Exactly.
Tell me how you think my definition is wrong. Go ahead.
Debating isn't for everybody, okay?
You have yet to prove why trans women are women. You have yet to prove why trans women aren't women. You have yet to prove that.
Watch me shut you down real quick. Are you ready? Where's your definition? Where's your definition? Where can I find your definition?
It doesn't matter where it comes from. I'm telling you my definition.
Wait, say that again. The point.
If you stop interrupting me, yes, if you stop interrupting me, I can finish. Can I finish? Or do you have the emotional? Do you have the emotional capacity?
Repeat that for me one more time, and then you can talk for the rest of the time. Where's your definition?
I'm not going to talk over you anymore. So if you interrupt me,
can you just repeat it one more time, please? And you got the whole table. It's all yours. Where's your definition at? Where's your definition come from?
Yeah, I'm done talking over you. I'll restate.
Just dog walked you, bro. It's not debating isn't for everybody, buddy. You need to stop this. You're embarrassing the fuck out of yourself. Look how many people are following me, bro. Like you're getting dog walked, bro. Just stop this nonsense. It's really fucking cringe. Just letting you know, if you want to debate, go learn a little bit. Maybe take 2 years off. And then come back to debating. Starting a debate and saying the stupidity that you're saying trans women are women, talking about bringing up no sources, nothing to back up your claim. You just look retarded, bro. And I'm just being bro to you.
Slur to run. There it is, y'all. There it is. There it is, bro. Slur to run. I'll address what he said. First off, definitions are subjective. So I don't need a source when I tell you my definition. The point of me telling you my definition is to prove my definition wrong, or A, prove my definition wrong, or B, tell me why you disagree with my definition. That was a slur to run. When I first brought him up, I wanted to debate on whether or not Trump is bringing us closer to an illiberal democracy. He then started hating on trans people, admitted that my definition is not circular. He walked it back. He said, your definition is not circular. Verbatim, he said that. And then he was not able to prove my definition wrong, then brought up gender fluidity, saying that, oh my God, I cooked you. I proved you wrong, when that was a whole nother topic. Gender fluidity and then trans individuals are two different topics, and he was yet to prove my definition wrong. I was able to prove his definition wrong of it being of gender being relied on sex, because you bring up intersex people. So he's fucking cooked. And then he slurred to run because obviously he knew that I was quiet and I was going to let him cook. Now, I do want to bring this guest up because this guest already conceded yesterday. So you already conceded yesterday. My definition is not, you said yesterday, my definition is not circular, that a trans woman or a woman is going to be.
definition. I said at least to vicious circularity.
I never gave more than one definition. A woman is an adult human.
Once I examine your definition.
Sure, then what's wrong?
And then I realize that you give the identification criteria over 0.5 credence.
So what's wrong with my definition? Go ahead.
Wait, Jeremiah,
sorry, 1 second.
Give me a second, Batman. or whatever your name is. Jeremiah, I just want to point out one thing is you brought up gender fluid, right? And the only issue with that is even though they were switching back and forth really quickly, that still wouldn't do really much anything because they would still have to, like, fluid identities are already recognized, but the sincerity matters in it, right?
Right.
So like even like the rapid switching, that couldn't count within being gender fluid. I just want to make that. Just want to say. Yeah. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me how my definition is wrong.
Circularity, right? Because you said you gave the identification criteria over 0.5 credence in terms of like all the characteristics that are true of the individual. If you give that specific thing over 0.5 credence, then everything else becomes completely redundant. And you would classify a woman as an adult individual who identifies as a woman. And
again, you're not telling me how that's circular. You fail to provide. Again, you're going to be.
To say you're going to be of a woman as an adult individual who identifies as a woman.
That's not. So that's a straw man because that's not my definition.
That's not a straw man because
hold on. Then steal man my definition. Steal man my definition.
Yeah, you just said that it's an adult individual with the desires that are in accordance with a particular set of social and cultural norms that are typically associated with the female sex, right?
Cool. So then that's not me saying that a trans woman
that's the first definition. And then once I examined the definition, well, we came to the conclusion that your actual definition was an adult individual who identifies as a woman after I examined the position. Yes.
Sure. Go ahead and tell me how you examined that position.
Yeah, so I examined that by saying that if an individual meets the characteristics that are true of a woman, but they identify as a man, would this individual be a man or a woman? You said they'll be a man because
you're forgetting the desire.
I mean that the identification criteria satisfies.
I already brought this up yesterday. Again, you're using the same argument. I already brought this up yesterday. It has to be the desire. So we all have feminine and masculine characteristics, but there has to be a desire to be in accordance with those particular set of norms or traits that align with either the female sex or the male sex. That's where your blunder is, buddy. We already talked about this. I already cooked about this yesterday because it's the desire to be in accordance with those particular set of norms. I already cooked you on this yesterday. Why are you coming back up?
You only know that to be true once the individual identifies as that specific gender, that you say, all right, well, this individual is the gender.
If I ask them for their gender identity and they tell me, sure.
Okay, so prior to that,
are you saying like
assumption, right?
now you're just talking about whether or not like a trans individual is like passing?
But you would only classify that individual as the gender because you asked them the question.
Holy blunder! That's a whole nother topic.
How is that a blunder?
Right? Because now you're trying to determine whether or not a trans individual is passing.
Well, the identification criteria satisfies the majority.
You're actually now you're talking about whether a trans individual is passing, and you're trying to determine if them passing makes them a man or a woman. That has nothing to do. A trans individual, quote unquote, passing has nothing to do with my definition of a trans woman or a woman or a trans man. That has nothing to do with my definition. That's a second blunder on your part.
Once you give me like some jargon definition that doesn't include the word woman.
Again, my definition didn't include women.
Once I realized what it reduces down to, and we reduced it down to the idea that you would classify a woman as an adult individual who identifies as a woman.
Again, you're saying that without actually you're saying that without actually me agreeing to that, because that is not what I agreed to, and that is not where my conclusion or my definition leads.
But you did agree to it. You said that you're going to say call them a man because they identified as a man, regardless of
if I'm going to call them a man if they identify as a man, if they have a desire to be in accordance with their identification, if they have a desire to be in accordance with those particular set of norms that align with a male sex.
Okay, when you say this desire, where's this desire coming from? Is it just
again? We already talked about this. You know what desire means.
Okay, is it coming from the identification itself?
What do you mean by is it coming from the identification?
Yeah, so like how do you know this individual has this desire? Is it by the way they act?
To determine whether or not someone is a man or a woman has nothing to do with outside individuals. It has something to do with those specific people.
Well, clearly, I mean, if they wanted to be like a woman, then they would try their best to look like a woman, right?
No, just because someone is in passing doesn't mean that they're not a woman.
Wait.
Again, that's where that's a third blunder, but you made the blunder again.
Satisfy.
One more time.
So the identification criteria does satisfy over 0.5.
Again, my definition has nothing to do with whether or not a trans individual is passing. Well, your definition,
wait.
Where your blunder is.
Do you understand what you're saying right now? Look, you gave me some little jargon definition, which I completely quoted you verbatim. It was the exact same definition that you gave me, right? All right. And then once I examined your position, we reduced it down to the identification is what matters, right? Because
no, it's the desire to be in a court. Yes, it has the desire to be in a court.
And then the way you determine, okay, so suppose that an individual was, say, like asleep or whatever, right? And then you were just determining their gender. Would you have like something in mind? Say, oh well, this person shares this.
Are you just saying like people like we can just like assume someone's gender?
Yeah. Like when you assume someone's gender, you usually do have an assumption, right? Would I be right
I
to
mean, do
assume
people
that?
do that? Sure, people like assume people's gender, right?
I'm pretty
But then
sure everyone does
if
that.
you misgender someone and they correct you, then you would typically just
Yeah, like if you
refer
were to
them
like say,
as their gender.
okay, so if like someone like did something and you were in the scene, and then let's say they committed some crime, but they were like kind of like out in the open, and then the cop asked
This
you,
is like
right?
the fourth
You would tell the
hypothetical that you
individual. Well, you
provided
would.
me. Get it? Like genuinely, two people that absolutely do not know how to debate. I cooked him yesterday on that topic, by the way.
I apologize. My phone died.
No, you're good. The reason why I wanted to like talk to Open and this guy is because Open has been like here every 2 months or something, and I like cooking him always. And then he was the other guy that was just up here, was here yesterday, and
Arguing the
absolutely
same
cooked
thing.
him. Yeah, the same thing, same thing.
I don't know
Bro
why they're
cannot
so
debate.
fast.
Bro said bro cannot debate, but you admitted that my definition is not circular, and then you could not find any holes within my argument. You tried arguing that it's based on a trans individual and whether or not it's passing. That has nothing to do with my definition, and you can't actually run it down that because that has nothing to do with my definition on the looks of someone, right? It's going to be the desire to be in accordance with a particular set of norms. You said it leads to circularity. No, it doesn't. You actually failed to prove why it leads to circularity. Your only evidence that it leads to circularity is that it's going to be whether or not someone's passing, quote unquote passing, and that's still going to be false under my definition. It wouldn't lead to circularity because I don't care if someone's passing or not. They're still going to be a trans woman. It's a blunder on both of their parts. Holy shit.
I don't understand the whole like identity argument when it comes to like choose like I don't know, determining someone's gender, like assuming, like that argument just does not track.
Like, if someone assumes someone's gender and then they like misgender them, then you just correct yourself, right?
That happens all the time.
Right.
Like I don't know. You might want to restart though.
That we
Hey,
What's up?
I missed your live yesterday. How was it?
Pretty chill. I cooked the last guy that was up here earlier, and a couple other people. Absolutely
Yeah.
fried them.
You should have saw what happened on Jazzy's live last night. I'll tell you about it later.
If you guys support Trump, jump up in the guest box. You did not cook him. You literally using ChatGPT. So when I was using the definition of gender fluidity, yes, I was looking at the definition that Google gave me. So if it looked like I was reading something for the definition of gender fluidity, yes, I was, because I don't know that definition off the top of my head. And if I'm ever looking at my screen, it's because I'm playing a game. Again, I did this yesterday to where someone's like, "You're using ChatGPT, you're using AI," and then I had to give them a gameplay while debating them, and they got cooked. That was funny. I should do the blanket over my head whenever someone accuses me of that. I need to bring it closer. Like
Yeah.
that one grandma, remember? They always accuse of me using AI, but can never disprove what I say.
That's ridiculous.
It's a ChatGPT. I have YouTube, Contexto, Truth Social, Wikipedia. Why do I have Wikipedia?
What a
For,
kindness source.
I know, because I was doing research last night, and Wikipedia has a bunch of articles condensed into one. So
Oh,
I
I
was looking
see.
at the bottom articles for like the citations, and I went through those. I was up for like hours last night. I have my book here still.
Wow. Is there any news on Trump?
No. For the never in human history have humans ever questioned whether gender can change. Again, sex and gender are different, right?
Brother, never in human history have humans ever questioned whether gender can change. That's not true. I mean, we also got to look at like medical too, right? Like, think about the fact that people are intersex, right? Like, other people think like, oh, there's only two biological sex, right? But over time, historically, it has changed.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, they left. Oh, how's it going?
Hello, how are you?
Good. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Why do you support Trump?
I like this tariff idea. I thought that was pretty cool. And the Iron Dome or Golden Dome, whatever.
Tariffs were
I thought
deemed
that was pretty cool.
unconstitutional. Tariffs were deemed unconstitutional. In fact, now we're starting the refund process. The dome, just a waste of money. No, it's not actually being done.
You don't want a dome?
It's not being built right now either way.
Why don't you want a dome?
Because again, I already explained to you, it's not being built right now. And even if we,
I didn't ask if it was being built.
And even
What?
Yeah, what's going to necessitate building an Iron Dome?
Why wouldn't you want
Or
to
a
feel
Golden
more
Dome?
safe? What?
Just to feel more safe? So
Yeah.
are you saying that there's an imminent threat of a global superpower striking us? Can you tell me the
Maybe.
global superpower and when?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Like, why wouldn't you want to?
There's no imminent threat of a global superpower striking us.
Okay. Do you think Iran is close to making a nuke?
No.
Okay, we both agree. Okay, but
Iran is not close to making
who's
yes, we agree.
Who's like, who's our enemy?
Who's our enemy in terms of what?
Like countries. Like who doesn't?
Bunch.
Who wants to? Not obviously they won't, but like who's a country that doesn't like us very much and wouldn't mind trying to start something? What's your country?
Doesn't like you guys. Canada.
Man, fuck you, Canadians. Always so fucking nice and shit.
Can you present an actual argument? Go ahead.
No, I mean, that's my argument. Like, okay, like...
You said tariffs. I disproved that because they were deemed unconstitutional and refund processes are starting back. And then you proceeded to ask me which country are we enemies
with.
Slow
down. We're here all day. We're here all day. Slow down. Like, I get it. You're Indian. You're smart. You're pretty witty. Whatever the fuck you are. Okay?
Hispanic?
Mud shark. Either way.
Well,
so,
nationality, I was born in America.
Okay, nationality, but where are you from? Like, you're not from
America.
Like,
yes, I'm from America.
Where, you know what I mean.
I'm American.
No, I'm talking about, you obviously got that skin somewhere. So, like, where, like, are you
French.
Mexican? Are you Palestinian? Are you what? Wait, what are you?
Franklin.
Go.
I am French, but I live in Canada. Does that mean that I was born in France? No.
I didn't say that.
Okay, so then
I'm American. I'm American because I was.
Yeah, we know where you were born, but like, what does your family trace back to? You know what I mean? Like, we could stop being smart asses.
Like, how far are you looking for?
Like, just like because you obviously you're obviously
if you're asking me from
you're obviously brown skin.
If you're asking me like thousands of years ago, I don't know. I've never done that.
No, I never. Okay, I never asked you for. Why are you making this?
You ask me where does my family come from? That implies,
yeah, that's all I'm asking for.
Then I ask
like
how
America,
long,
but
how far?
I don't know, 40s.
40s?
Yeah, 40s.
Central America.
Huh?
Central America, and then.
Okay, cool. That's what I mean. So you're not actually. You're like from here, obviously,
American,
but
yes,
you're not. Your family
American.
wasn't. Your whatever made you Mexican or whatever. That's what I mean.
I'm sorry, Franklin, but majority of people.
You're not.
I'm sorry, but majority of people that are European and from other areas have colonize these countries.
Well, fucking duh. I mean, we took fourth
Obviously,
grade.
you don't understand that because you're like, you're not American because your
Yes,
ancestors
okay.
did, like,
They'll be okay when
300
somebody
years
says,
ago.
"Oh, what ethnicity are you?" Oh, like my family's part German or my family's part. That's
Oh,
what
then
I
you're
mean.
German.
But were you
You're
But
German.
you're like,
yeah,
You live
"Oh,
in
I'm
Germany.
American." Like,
were you
obviously,
were you
your whole
born in
family's
America?
Not from here.
Were you born
Huh?
in America?
Yeah.
So then you're American.
So by his logic,
Yes,
he should
okay,
be
I
living in
understand.
Germany.
Or are
I'm
you
not
German? Are you
talking about
German? Are you German?
Yeah, my family goes
Your
back.
nationality, right? That's your nationality. So you were born in Germany.
I never said that. I
You
never
just said
said that.
yes.
No,
just said
you
yes.
you trying to
When I
do
asked
this
you if you're
Dean
German,
Withers
you
shit
said
where
yes.
you try and
Dean
I'm not a
Withers.
do all this
racist. I'm
fucking
not a
bullshit.
racist white boy.
Is he racist?
That's a troll. But why? I don't know why you're bringing up Dean Withers to pivot away from the argument.
No, because what it comes to the point where like you just try and spin everything. That's not obviously what I was trying to say, and you know that, but you wanted to bullshit.
So I am an American, right?
Yes, I understand that you're American, nigga. I'm talking about your family.
Well, I told you where my family's from. Moving on to the next guest. How's it going?
Yo, that dude don't know what he's talking about. He's retarded. Oh, my bad. I can't say that.
Even though you can't say that on TikTok terms of service, you shouldn't be saying that in general.
Hey, you can say that if you have an intellectual disability.
Well, he said he can't say that, so that obviously
The chances are really low.
he literally said it himself. You cannot he cannot say
Oh, I
that.
can't say that. Theo always likes to bark when you're on. Theo, do you are you gonna restart? You probably should.
I
No?
literally just started. What?
Yeah, I know, but look at the push.
It's only 9 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
At least show us the dog.
I'll show you them both. They're both barking at another dog right now. Hold on. Theo. Hi. Okay, here, hold on. So this is Theo. He got his hair cut and he looks like a rat. Here's Theo, and then there's Darla. Darla. Hey. That's Darla. And then there's Theo. They're cute. Okay. Yeah, they're a pain in the ass. Okay. Now we're just waiting for Jeremiah to get pushed so we can have some debates.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys are double tap that phone screen, hit the follow button if you haven't already, repost the live, share the live, do all of the wonderful things. We're here to debate. We are here to debate Trump supporters. Again, we are here to debate Trump supporters.
Or misogynistic men.
Trump's strong. Come up and debate me. I swear they're a Russian bot. I swear.
Gotta love yourself and a misogynistic man.
Quite literally. You. That's quite literally you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Are you kidding me? The comments? Daddy Satan atheist for logic joined my live. W.
What are you reading?
I saw a name on the like a blue name.
Oh.
Do you like ice? No, I don't. I should be abolished.
Of course Jeremiah doesn't like ice. His family didn't live in America 300 years ago. Guys, I'm not being racist. I was using the other guy's logic. Oh my god, that's gonna be taken so out of context.
I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, I'm clipping
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, no, I'm clipping that.
I apologize.
Yo, petition to ban Ellie after saying that. Oh god, is that John? I cooked John yesterday.
Oh, he's back? Like,
I see the invite button.
oh.
He stopped the Iranian woman from being executed this week. What goes? Oh, that was your dog.
Okay, sorry, I gotta mute myself.
Just heard squeaking. They were protesting in Iran. Yeah, Levy Sport Trump, jump in the guest box. There we go. Troll, guarantee it. Let's see. See if they even load in. I saw that video that you're referencing. How's it going, D Sport Trump?
Nah, I was gonna say, how do you support anybody anymore? They all suck.
Yeah, the lesser of two evils. I support progressive Dems.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If I just feel it's just a whole game. Can't trust any of them. It sucks.
I mean, when you have both Republicans and Democrats aiming for a moderate Democrat versus a progressive Democrat, that's how you know the progressive Democrat is actually the preferable one for office when you have everyone going against them. And in the case of Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
All right, I just want to say that quick. You have a good night, man.
Take care. If you guys support Trump, join up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to have a debate with you. I'd love to have a conversation. Trump isn't guilty. Yes, he is. Found liable of forcefully penetrating Eugene Carroll's vagina with his fingers. There's 3 watching over on YouTube. Adam, it's the Epstein Files. What's up? You guys make sure to hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. Trump was never a politician. He's not in their club. That's why they hate him. So you're saying Trump was never a politician. That's why he's a bad politician, right? How's it going? Do you support Trump?
No, I'm gonna get banned. But anyone who supports Trump is a pedophile, and you should.
You are gonna get banned. I wouldn't say everyone who supports Trump, but I think that they definitely support a P3D. Moving on to the next guest. How's it going? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Why?
Because he has true democratic views.
Okay.
And
do you know what that America's a liberal democracy?
Is it?
Yeah, America's a liberal democracy. Do you know what a liberal democracy is?
No, could you explain?
Liberal democracy is going to be a democratic a Democrat, well, I can give you the definition. It's going to be a representative system of government that combines a majority rule democracy with protections of individual rights and liberties. I can give you some examples of being
Majority
elections.
rules.
Yeah, a majority rules democracy. So America is a liberal democracy. Do you know what an illiberal democracy is?
But when you say majority rule, but people
democracy.
vote. People vote for example, a councilman to then make decisions on their behalf. So it's not a majority rule when that councilman is making those decisions.
They vote for the councilman, and the majority of the votes, and if you're referencing in specific, like local and state elections, the majority of them wins the election. The ones who get the majority votes.
Yes, but then those councilmen have to agree with other councilmen to come to agree to a certain.
That's why the first part, a representative system. So a liberal democracy is a representative system of government that combines majority rule democracy. So you vote, majority wins, and then they represent you.
Okay, yeah, what you're saying is like a word game, but yeah, sure. Okay,
it's
anyway,
literally the definition.
The next part.
Do you know what an illiberal democracy is?
No.
An illiberal democracy are leaders that are elected, but those leaders restrict civil liberties, weaken checks and balances, undermine rule of law. Some civil liberties are going to be free press, speech, religion, due process, and unreasonable searches. The elections are often skewed and limits minority rights. An example is going to be Hungary. Viktor Orban. They are a democracy, but they are an illiberal democracy because obviously he's a dictator who was attacking the Constitution, attacking freedom of press, attacking freedom of religion. Donald Trump is leading us in accordance with an illiberal democracy. We can see his attack on the First Amendment. We can see the Republicans' attack on freedom of religion. We can see his attack on due process and rule of law, right? So he is leading us towards an illiberal democracy. And some even argue that's more dangerous than fascism.
So could we talk about the First Amendment? So what was he doing? What is he doing?
What is he doing? I can give you some examples. Let's see. I wrote these down. So some examples are going to be, first off, with a press, this merger that was going to happen. These mergers, I forget these two. They're buying Paramount. Yes, Paramount. And the person who owns it is going to be pro MAGA, right? So we're seeing these mergers in terms of the media who are pro MAGA, and obviously that's going to be towards the president. We also have his attacks towards the First Amendment, calling them fake news, calling them the enemy of the people. Donald Trump has actively called the media the enemy of the people.
But they're calling him the threat to democracy. I mean, he's just doing what Democrats do.
He is a threat to democracy. Yes.
Right, but
he's leading us towards illiberal democracy. So when people report on the fact that we're being led towards an illiberal democracy, that is true, and that doesn't mean that the most powerful man on earth, that is the most powerful of a liberal democracy, can call them fake news or say that they're the enemy of the people. That is actively dismantling people's trust within the First Amendment and the freedom of the press.
Isn't media losing trust when are American citizens losing trust in the government when this so-called fake news keeps saying things that make him seem worse than he actually is, calling him a threat to democracy? I mean,
I can give you examples. That's how he's a threat to democracy. The most prevalent one is going to be January 6th. His lawyer admitted to this in court. He sent fake electoral slates to 7 key swing states to try to undermine democracy and try to overturn the results of those elections in those states to try to instill himself as president of the United States, even when Joe Biden lost. That is the largest threat to democracy. You also have the attacks.
But what's he doing currently?
You said that he wasn't a threat to democracy. I already proved January 6th was a threat to democracy.
Well, how is that a threat?
Because again, he tried to overthrow democracy by keeping himself as president, even when he lost the election. And he did this.
He conceded.
He didn't. To this day, he says he won the election.
But so who was the president?
The point is. Trump. The point is he sent fake electoral slates to 7 key swing states to try and undermine the election and silence the voice of millions of voters. That's the point, and his lawyer admitted to this in court. That's the biggest threat on democracy. Then you have the Capitol riots, biggest threat to democracy.
Because he did what again?
Because he sent fake electoral slates to 7 key swing states to try to overthrow the election and say he won those swing states.
So do you have a source for that?
Joe... Yes, his lawyer.
No. Oh, okay. But but is there a source where us viewers and myself could read that, or do we just take your word for his lawyer?
I mean, doing research, you shouldn't take my word after the debate. You should definitely do your research. You just search up Trump fake electoral.
You have a source, so I know I can search up. I can search up "Are aliens real?" and something will come up. But is there a specific, legit, official, or do we just take your word for it, bro.com?
Hey, give me 1 second here. Let's see. Do you like the New York Times?
I like truthful news, if that's what you're asking me. I like any news that's truthful and
the New York
factual
Times.
And has a. But you said it's lawyer, but like I'm not talking about like a news. Is there like somewhere we can read this besides like a news source? Court hearings.
If you want to look at the court hearings, sure, you can look at the court hearings.
Right? Wouldn't we? Isn't that the most truthful piece of source?
You can feel free to take a look at them, but I'm providing you with what you asked for. Right?
Yeah,
New York Times, the fake electoral scheme explained.
So are you going off New York Times?
I'm
so you didn't read the court hearings?
I actually did. I did.
So why didn't you list the court hearings? Why are you saying New York Times?
I don't remember the court hearings off the top of my head.
Okay, well, until you get those, you should give me legit sources, not New York biased Times for whoever
Why?
side.
How is New York? How is New York Times
Because
biased?
I'm not saying they're for Trump or against. I'm just saying they're a news station who has a side like everyone.
But how are they biased?
Hey, they could be biased for or against. I mean, are they a private entity with one owner?
Again, you're not telling me how they're biased.
Are they a private entity with one owner? And then you would say yes, and then I will say, okay, well, that one owner probably has a certain view on life, whether he's for Trump or against Trump.
Okay,
So then I would call that biased, right?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll provide you the clip.
A clip?
Yes, of the lawyer.
Yeah, but you're providing me a clip. Who's it? Maybe it's your friend Jimmy who made this clip. Hey, you got a source for the video?
I will tell you the news source of where the clip has been posted. Yes, if you give me a second.
But are you going to tell me what the lawyer said or the facts?
I'm going to. You're going to hear what the lawyer said.
Yeah, but anybody can say anything. I'm not supposed to just believe it because someone I don't know said it.
So like when you
a
walk
lawyer,
into
the biggest liars in the world.
when you walk into a building, are you gonna say this building is gonna could fall apart or could not fall apart could be destroyed at any moment in time? I shouldn't walk in there, or I shouldn't trust it.
Well, it depends on the building. From what I'm seeing, if it's not looking in good shape. But I'm not going to ask a car salesman on his opinion on if I should buy a car or not, because most likely he's lying. And if you think a lawyer is any more truthful than a car salesman, then good luck.
Let's see.
When's Ellie going to jump in and there she is. I was waiting for backup. Usually when we get a pause like this, back up, and it's usually women always come in and jump me.
Well, I don't argue like Trump or anything. I'm not even from America. I talk on abortion and basic human rights, and I talk to misogynistic men.
Oh, okay. Well, you can talk to me. I'm misogynistic.
Are you?
Yep.
How?
I guess however you would deem a misogynist. I don't know. I mean, you didn't just hear me say I have a woman come and jump me. Usually guys like this, when they stall, have a woman to come back them up.
Again, I already provided you my evidence. You're asking for further evidence, which I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Don't need
still
backup.
waiting. So I was, in the meantime, I was going to Ellie's because we're waiting, you know?
Well, you get the clip, Jeremiah. I'll talk to him.
Yeah, talk to me.
Okay, so you're misogynistic.
I guess, yeah.
You believe that men are better than women, or superior to women.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, yes, of course.
Okay.
They are biologically, and it's not in all cases, but whatever you can name.
Do you think that men are better at leading than women?
Of course.
Okay, why?
Because if we look throughout history, even America, every nation, any of the greatest empires to ever come a rise, have been led by men, not women.
Okay, but just because it has been led by men doesn't mean that women couldn't have done the same things, right?
Well, right, wait, but yes, so you're saying just because women haven't done it doesn't mean they can't do it? Okay, well, until you show me that women can run multiple empires, and then I will take your advice on it and take your word for it. So until then, you can't just tell me to agree to something that we haven't seen.
Well, I was just trying to say, like, you have to understand that a woman could also do these types of things as well, right? Not just because a man has already done that, doesn't mean a woman can't, right?
Right. Anybody could pick up a hammer and nail into a wall.
There we go. That's all I was trying to get you to agree on with me, is that they can still accomplish.
Some are just more better at it.
Right. But if you're going to put it in like a biological aspect within like a female versus male, we'll see that women actually outperform men in leadership abilities.
Where? In what scenarios? At Pilates?
No. I'm talking about leadership abilities.
Okay. In what scenario? Where are women in where?
Yeah, women are more superior to men with emotional regulation. And lots of men get confused on that because they believe that women are more emotional. Right? But it's actually true that women are more emotionally intelligent compared to men due to the fact that their prefrontal cortex and their frontal lobe is better equipped to handle emotional situations. And that's why women are biologically built to handle more stressful environments and make less rational decisions compared
Yeah,
to
do you know why?
pregnancy.
That's right.
Our bodies are built for that, right? So we can see that women in general have a better emotional intelligence, which is a very key factor in being a leader in a leadership position. Right?
No,
Especially
it's
it is
for the
because
sole
if you don't
reason
have
pregnancy. You
emotional
just named it.
regulation, you're going to be making irrational decisions.
It's not
You're
for
going to be
leading. It's
Pardon?
for pregnancy. That the whole purpose of that is for pregnancy, and you already said it. It's to protect your child,
That's
not
what
to lead.
no. I'm saying that's what the biology of it was built for, right? It was built for to handle the emotional capabilities of pregnancy and the stress that your body endures during pregnancy.
Yeah, and that's it. It wasn't to lead your team at Walmart. Like
no. But because we have that emotional intelligence, we can also perform it in other aspects.
Like what is what I asked you initially?
In
like
leadership skills, in the leadership, any sort of role that includes leadership, right? Women.
Give me an example. You can you give me one? Humans
president.
do a million
A woman
things.
would be a great president.
Okay, well, would be until but you have no proof to back it up. So how can we even take your word?
I just gave you my proof. I said that women have a better emotional.
That's on paper.
Intellectual ability.
That's on
it's
paper.
Biology. It's not just paper. It's basic biology.
But you haven't. There's no proof of it. So
yes, it is. Women's dendrites, right? Women have more dendrites, right? So they can handle their signaling a lot faster. Okay. So women are better equipped to handle those stressful environments due to the fact that they can endure pregnancy. Not saying they have to, but they can, right? So women are more able to handle those stressful environments besides pregnancy as well, due to the fact that they have that emotional capability better equipped than men.
Yeah, so okay, pretend you have that whatever. But women also lack things as well. I mean, but there's no proof. Like you haven't.
I just proved it to you.
On paper. On paper, that's like an engineer drawing a building. It looks great until it's built, and then it failed because there was something missing.
Women are human beings. They are already built. Their bodies are already equipped.
Yes, but there's no proven of what you're saying, though.
Yes,
yeah, you're already here.
This is biology. This is biology, honey. This is how a woman's body works.
Yo, I want to give you an example. So a car, for example, it comes with a brochure. It says it can do this, this, and this, and this. But when you put it on this climate and this part of the world, the temperature's different. It's wetter. It's the air is more humid. It doesn't perform well for this climate. So what climate are you talking about? We haven't seen what you've done in what positions.
I understand what you're saying.
On
now.
paper,
all you're asking me now is like an example of where a woman performs.
You said presidency. You said the worst thing a woman could ever be. Right? You didn't even say you went for the #1 spot.
What presidency. A woman would
be. What country though? Sure, but of what country?
I'm not sure, but let me see.
Fucking India, maybe. But if you're talking somewhere like America,
I'm pretty sure Germany has a female president. Let me see.
Yeah, and Germany's a shithole. Mass migration, this and that, just like America until Trump came in. Look at Germany. I was in Germany in the summertime. It's a shithole.
Let's see.
Yeah, Mexico. Yeah, Mexico's doing well.
Yeah, send Iceland, India, Barbados.
But we haven't seen it. Yeah, they might be a president, but are they in thriving, built great countries? No. You see, in Mexico, for example, you see people fleeing from Mexico. How is that a great leader when they're fleeing?
Slovenia is doing very well with a huge success. Slovenia, Barbados, 2025, 2026.
We're talking about all luxury environments. Of course they're doing great there. It's luxurious. No
they also have women leading.
It's all great there. And let me go to Barbados. Yeah, it's palm trees and fucking coconuts. Of course the women are doing good there. Put them in a real stressful situation. Like
how are you saying that's not a real stressful position? I thought we agreed that being a president would be a very high intense stress environment.
What country? It goes back to what climate. So again, back to my car thing scenario. Yeah, it looks good on paper. A Lamborghini could do 0 to 100 miles an hour in the perfect climate, but put it in the mountains of Alaska, it's not going to do great.
Right.
It depends on the
understand.
climate. So when you're a woman and you're president of Bora Bora, of course you're going to do be great at leading, because look at your climate.
Okay, so you think that a woman would be
Women want to be everything that men are for some reason. Why can't women just be women?
Listen. You think that a woman could not achieve better goals than a man if it comes into a presidency of like Canada or America.
I think women are just best at being women and who they are. They're not people who.
Okay, can you answer my question? Can you answer my question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, do you think that? Do you think that men would outperform women in general in a more stressful country?
Outperform them how? With not
Just
crying in a
overall
closet
leadership,
or getting things done?
In their leadership abilities.
We're seeing it right now. Trump's doing a great job. How do you think that guy sleeps at night? People keep trying to take his life. People try to take his life every day. And you think a woman up there would be less stressed than that? The guy gets up off his knees and puts his fist in the air. Show me a woman who would do that.
Okay. Wow.
And honestly, I'm dropping the mic on that one because that was hard as hell. Put a 1 in the comments if you agree.
No, that was terrible.
He left?
Oh, he's dropping the mic and leaving. But here's the thing: is like one male politician handling pressure doesn't prove that men are inherently better leaders than women.
Oh, he cannot handle Donald Trump cannot handle pressure. He's so emotional.
Exactly, and like, oh my God, in stress intolerance or stress tolerance too is a huge part of it. Trump lacks extreme abilities when it comes to that, and that just killed me. That was wow.
How's it going? How's it going? You gotta be in the app for me to hear you. You gotta see me for me to hear you. Do you support Trump?
Not really, not no more. I didn't even mean to join.
No, you're good. Take care. Reagan? Are you saying Reagan was a good president? I see Reagan and Roosevelt and Kennedy. Reagan is crazy. Oh, this guy.
You still have a fucking
$50, right?
whack ass live with nobody on it still.
You owe me $50, right?
Bro, I could give you $100. You still won't get this live more than 20 views.
You owe me $50. You made a bet on whether or not there was evidence that Iran was actually building nuclear bombs, and you failed to provide that evidence. So you owe me $50.
Yeah, IAEA.
Yeah, they didn't provide evidence that they were building nuclear bombs.
Of course they did. 60%.
60% enriched uranium doesn't mean that they're building nuclear bombs.
Doesn't mean they're building civilian stuff, does it?
But exactly my point. You have no evidence that they were building nuclear bombs. So
there's no civilian
just give me my
need.
$50. It's been a year.
There's no
buddy.
civilian need for 60%.
It's been a year, buddy.
That's military grade.
It doesn't mean that they're building nuclear bombs, dumbass.
Of course it does. A logical person would say that. Somebody who's
a logical
desperate
person.
Yes, a logical person would
uses
say that.
evidence. A logical person uses evidence.
Yeah, 60% enriched uranium is evidence
It's not
of
evidence
a
of
country that
nuclear
is
bombs.
working.
That is not evidence of a nuclear bomb.
That they're building it? Of course it is.
Okay, tell me the report of the IAEA that said that Iran was building nuclear bombs. Go ahead.
Yeah,
you quoted the IAEA. I want to hear
60%.
verbatim. Iran is building nuclear bombs. Go ahead.
Of course they didn't say that. They didn't have to.
So then concede that Iran was not building nuclear bombs, and there's no evidence of that.
Of course they are. 60% means that you're on your way to a nuclear weapon.
How much
There's
do you
no
need to
other
build a
need for
nuclear?
it.
How much do you need to build a nuclear weapon? How much?
I believe it's north of 90%.
90. Cool. 60 is 60 90 or is 60 60?
60 is 60, but to get to
Cool.
90,
So 60
you have
is
to
not
get
90,
to 60.
Right? 60 is not 90, right?
But you have to get to 60 to get 90.
Cool. So then they weren't building nuclear bombs, right? Because in order to build
of course
nuclear
they
bombs,
were. They're building
in order to build
process.
in order to build nuclear bombs, you need 90%, right?
But you also have to reach 60 to get to 90.
But
and
in order to build
building,
nuclear bombs, you need 90%, right?
Yeah, but in order to get to 90, you need to get to 60.
You owe me my $50. Go ahead.
No, because you said building. Building would imply that they're currently building a nuclear weapon.
And they're not currently building a nuclear weapon.
Of course they are. What else
What's your
takes
evidence for that?
60%? Yeah, because 60%
a nuclear
uranium.
weapon takes 90%,
Dude,
not 60.
In order to get to 90, you have to get to 60. That would be building.
You can't build a nuclear bomb at 60%.
That's because you're building it still.
You're building
That's
what?
the argument.
Wait,
You're
hold on. What are they
building
building?
a nuclear weapon.
They're
You're
building a nuclear. They're
nuclear
building a
weapon.
nuclear. Hold on. Your argument is they're building a nuclear weapon with 60%, but you already admitted that you need 90% in order to build a nuclear weapon.
That's why it's building. That's why it's still in progress.
What are they building?
That's like saying a house needs a roof, and you can't have a house without a roof, but you can build a foundation. You can build the walls, you could put the electrical, the plumbing,
that's not relevant.
and
That's not relevant
you'll
dialogue.
still say they're not building a house until the roof is on it. But a logical person would drive by and say, okay, it has all the components of a house.
Okay,
that
doesn't logically follow. That doesn't
no, it does
logically
follow.
No,
it does. In order to get to 90, you have to get to 60. It's very simple.
No. So what would logically follow? What would logically follow is them actually buying the bricks or like actually buying what they need, the material. Are you saying
they have an entire ballistic weapon program?
Hold on. So are you saying that it is you are building a house when buying the material? Yes, that's your argument.
Yeah, if you're buying the materials to build a house, you would be building a house. If you're buying
while buying the materials, you're building a house. Incoherent. You build a house.
That is the first process.
But that isn't.
That is the first process to build a house is to buy the materials, of course.
Right, but that doesn't mean you're building the house. You could buy the materials and then never build it again, right?
Of
you
course.
Could buy the materials and never build the house, right? That doesn't
Except
mean you built a house.
they built the intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Those intercontinental ballistic missiles are not nuclear weapons.
They don't have to be. They just have to switch
out.
But
the argument that you had was that they had, or that they were actually producing nuclear weapons.
No, I said they're building them.
Yeah, they're building nuclear weapons. There's no evidence for that.
Of course, they're enriching past 60%.
Okay,
they're also building.
Okay, sure. So if I go buy bricks
missiles.
right now, if I go buy items that I need right now to build a house, and then never build the house, did I build a house?
But they are. They're building.
Did I build the house though?
No, but Iran is building the house.
So
they have a ballistic missile program.
But a ballistic missile program is not a nuclear weapon. So
no, but that's what you need to carry a nuclear weapon. If they had no interest in a nuclear weapon, why would you build an intercontinental ballistic missile? I never said that they had no interest in nuclear.
I never said that they didn't have an interest in building nuclear weapons.
Okay, but why would you build an ICBM then? Why would
I said that there was no evidence that they were producing or that they were building a nuclear weapon.
Yes, and I'm telling you, they have a ICBM, what's
your sources that they're building nuclear weapons? Go ahead.
The source is that they refuse to give up their
source.
Yes, in the current agreements that we have, or the not the agreements, sorry, the negotiations that we had.
Well, one of the negotiations going on.
Yes, because one of them was
hold on. Iran left the talks in Pakistan. What are you talking about?
I understand, because one of the things that the administration refused to back down on was the nuclear program.
The one that we destroyed back in June, right?
That we thought we destroyed. Obviously, we didn't. Yeah. You can say that. I think he was bullish on how much damage it actually did.
Anyways, you owe me $50. You owe me $50.
I know. You got walked.
There's no evidence that Iran was building nuclear weapons. There's no evidence.
Why are they building? Go ahead. They're building intercontinental ballistic missiles that are already functioning.
That does not mean that they're building nuclear weapons.
Because they're enriching uranium. If you want
enriching uranium does not equal building nuclear weapons.
Because at 60%,
you already agreed 90% is.
Because at 60% though, there's no other use. There's nothing you use it for at 60%.
You already agreed that 90% is needed in order to
get
build
to 90.
A
You have to be to 60. It only takes 2 or 3 weeks to go from 60 to 90.
In order to get to walk 3 miles, you need to walk first a mile. Does
Correct.
That mean once
so
walk,
you can
does
say
that mean,
if somebody
does that mean once you walk
a mile,
hold on,
they may be walking 3.
Does you mean once you walk the mile, you automatically already walk 3 miles?
No, that means you're currently
Precisely
walking.
my point. So what's the evidence that they were enriching uranium at 90%, or that they were attempting to build nuclear bombs? Go ahead.
Because they refuse to give up their ballistic missile program
Again,
in conjunction with enriching.
That's not nuclear weapons.
60% is military grade. What do you use 60%? Correct, but to get to nuclear, you have to be at 60.
So then you're not providing evidence for nuclear weapons.
No, I am, because in order to get to 90, you have to be at 60. You don't just wake up one day and have 90.
Like I said, in order to walk 3 miles, you need to walk 1 mile. So once you walk that 1 mile, I can already say that I walked 3 miles. That's incoherent gibberish.
No, I can say you're walking. You can say that you're walking towards 3 miles. Of course. You can make that argument because you have nothing to say that you're not. And you have all the evidence to show that Iran is with their ballistic missile program, their 3 underground facilities.
You said that they were actively building. Mountain. You said that they were actively building nuclear weapons.
They are, because in order to get to 90,
evidence for that?
Because you were at 60. In order to get to 60, you have to go to 90. And Iran doesn't have any nuclear subs. Somebody's in the chat.
Yo, this guest is dumb as shit, bro. Holy fuck.
You just got walked and it was very easy.
Again, you owe me $50.
You just want them to wake up and be at 90% one day. I said
There's
building.
the
I didn't
point.
say
Yes,
they
they're
built.
not
I
building.
didn't say
They're
they
not.
built.
They're not building.
I said
They are
building.
not. They're
Of
not
course,
building.
again,
And there's
building
no
a house
evidence.
doesn't mean you have to complete the house in order to say you're building a house. You can drive by a construction project and say, wow, they're building a house. Just because it's not complete doesn't mean they're not building a
But
house.
they're not building nuclear weapons.
Of course they are.
What's the evidence?
Every single country, every
What's the
single
evidence?
president. The evidence is that they're building missiles because they have
That's
a 60%.
not evidence of them building nuclear weapons, though.
Yeah, it is
Ballistic
because it's
missiles,
60%.
ballistic missiles is different from nuclear weapons. Provide me
No,
evidence
but-
that they're building nuclear
Sure,
weapons.
Because ballistic missiles paired with 60% uranium, which is
And
3
neither of
weeks
those
away,
are needed. Neither of those are sufficient
Yes,
to
they
build a
are.
nuclear bomb.
That's why they're building.
Hold on. 60% is needed to build nuclear bombs?
No. It's needed
Precisely.
to.
So that has nothing to do with the argument. Do ballistic
No, it
missiles
does,
have,
because
do,
in order to
are
get to
ballistics,
90, you have to get to,
are
you have to
ballistic
be at
missiles
60.
needed to build nuclear bombs?
In order to get to 90, you have to reach 60. You do not just jump to 90. It's a progression. That is called building.
Yeah, you're stupid as shit, and you owe me $50 because there's no evidence. The IAEA even said that there's no evidence of them building a nuclear bomb. So Venmo, PayPal, Cash App in the bio. You owe me $50, quite frankly. You should pay up. Liberals learned from the Leering Center. Didn't prove a thing, genuinely. He said that 90% is needed to build a nuclear bomb, and then said 60 is evidence that they're building a nuclear bomb. That's contradictory because you need 90 to build a nuclear bomb. What the fuck are we talking about? Oh my god. Ellie, did you hear that shit? Oh, you're out of the app. World War 11, yeah, that was fun. That was funny. That was pretty funny. Yes, because to get to 90, you must reach 60. Yeah, but that you're not. Once you're at 60, you're not at 90. That means that you're not able to build nuclear bombs. Which means that they're not. If they're not able to build nuclear bombs because they're not at 90, they're not building nuclear bombs because they're not able to build nuclear bombs until they're at 90. Which means they're not building nuclear bombs because they're unable to because they're not at 90 because they're at 60. Holy shit! And what does this guy want?
That was so funny.
It was so stupid, bro. What do you want, bro?
You want to see a face reveal or no?
Yeah, let's see a face reveal.
Actually, yeah. Do it.
How badly do you want me to do a face reveal?
Yeah, buddy. If you want to do it, do it. If not, then leave.
Leave? I still want to debate though.
Okay, if you want to debate me, you're gonna need to do a face reveal.
I got you,
10
bro.
seconds.
Yo, can I at least fix my hair real quick? Damn.
Nah, yeah, you got 10 seconds.
I got you right now. Are we looking?
Can't see shit. What am I looking at?
Jermites. Dude, there's a big thunderstorm right now. So it's like not the best right now. I'm lagging. So we're going to have to debate and I'll turn on my camera for you tomorrow. How about that?
Dude, do you live near me? It's a thunderstorm here.
Wait, are you in Texas?
Do you support Trump? Okay.
Yes. Okay. I do support Trump.
Not you, Spinda. LK, do you support Trump?
I do.
How old are you?
How old do you think? Old enough to vote.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
He's done a lot more for this country in his 4 years of this term so far than he has.
He hasn't been in office for 4 years.
Yeah, not yet, but.
So what has he done?
Helped tariffs, taxes.
Tariffs were deemed unconstitutional. Tariffs were deemed unconstitutional by the Supreme Court, and refunds are already in progress. If you're going to say taxes, tariff is at the end, basically, of the whole process is a tax on the consumer, average Americans like me and you, so that's going to be contradictory, but there's disproving your 2 points.
That's true. That is true. So why do you not support Trump?
Because he's selfish.
Is he?
Yeah, he was selfish enough to violate the bodily autonomy of E. Jean Carroll and raped her. He was selfish enough to sexually exploit women and children from Miss Teen USA and Miss USA for his own sexual gratification. He was selfish enough to do market manipulation to benefit himself and rich billionaire buddies to make enrich themselves. He was selfish enough to allegedly take $10 million from Egypt to win the election. He was selfish enough to violate the First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, 10th Amendment, 14th Amendment, etc., etc. He was selfish enough to violate 4 federal laws to protect pedophiles and himself.
Did he take 10 mil from Egypt? I didn't know that. I thought he was a rich.
Allegedly. So,
Okay.
during his campaign, he needed $10 million for his campaign in 2016. Then he proceeded to in like 5 days before inauguration, in the banks of Egypt, they took $10 million in cash, and we don't know where they went. So the DOJ did an investigation. We found out that within the days of the campaign, Donald Trump did not take them. And then the DOJ asked for his bank records up until the day of the inauguration. And that's when he put in pro Donald Trump people. And that's when they closed the investigation, right? And we already know that Egypt does do election interference because a representative, I don't remember its specific state, in 2022 got charged with taking money from Egypt. So we already know that this is something Egypt would do. So when you put all the facts together, the circumstantial evidence, that's why I said allegedly, he did take $10 million from Egypt to help win the election.
I got you.
Yeah. And then after, when Biden got in office and the new DOJ came in, they weren't able to investigate it because of statute of limitations. That's why I said allegedly. Yeah.
Damn, I need to get my evidence board.
I appreciate you for coming up here. I think that you definitely need to do some research. I appreciate you coming up here and being open-minded. Honestly, you might become a liberal soon. Moving on to the next guest. Egypt, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. The Russia investigation, Egypt. Most people don't talk about Egypt, right? Because there was an investigation going on, but then they put in pro-Trump people. They closed it, and then Biden came in, and it was past statute of limitations, right? So we're left with circumstantial evidence that very clearly leads us to believe that he allegedly took $10 million from Egypt. Netanyahu set up October 7th. There are reports of Netanyahu knowing about October 7th. I haven't looked too deep into it. They're all suspected to be getting money. Yeah. Oh, belly left. Chad, I'm going to do a restart, so I'll be... This is going to be the last restart. First, W. It's going to be the last restart. W Windows for being first. If you're over on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. We're close to 200 subscribers over on YouTube. The chat is going absolutely insane. Make sure you guys check out the link tree in the description of the live stream as well. Over here on TikTok, make sure to double tap that phone screen, hit that follow button if you haven't already. Repost the live, share the live, do all the wonderful things. I can barely hear you. Whoopsies. That either that might be me or your volume. I'm also not talking as that. I'm actually kind of tired. But let's see if we can do some debates. But I turned this up, so we should be hearing me louder. Quite frankly. Imagine this whole time I was muted on YouTube. Question, why am I looking at Jeffrey Epstein and Trump? Because they were best friends. These two right there, best friends. Thank God for President Trump and his administration. We've been on YouTube for 67 minutes. I don't support either side. Fair enough. But at the end of the day, it's representative democracy, which means also democratic and republic. So we typically try to choose the lesser of two evils. I am lib. I'm a progressive. Oh, libertarian. I'm assuming you choose the lesser of two evils. So that makes sense. I don't want either side. They both suck. I think I have an issue with that. That's like politically illiterate. That's just like the reason why Harris lost the election, because so many people decided not to vote because they thought that Trump and Harris were equally as bad. But obviously, Harris was the lesser of two evils. But, to each his own. I guess we have the
Question.
right to choose. How's it going?
It's good, bro. How are you doing today?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Why is that?
Well, that's a pretty loaded question. I would say rather than supporting him, like I support his campaign.